Hey guys, this is Brad Hightower. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 3 of the Note to File podcast, a collection of interviews, best practices, and ramblings for clinical research sites. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the importance of the informed consent process. If you're a clinical research coordinator, it's very likely that your first interaction with the patient is during the informed consent process. How this process is managed will help play a significant role in whether or not they decide to participate. Here are some tips that might help your process go a little more smoothly. First, if at all possible, have your PI be as involved as they can in the informed consent process. Depending on the structure of your research site, it's likely that a majority of the patients you screen are those of the PI or the practice. They've likely built a pre-existing relationship and have built some level of trust over time. As a result, patients might be more receptive to receiving information from the PI. This can make a big difference as to whether or not they've decided to participate. Secondly, use a checklist. I think at this point it's pretty much industry-wide standard to use some sort of checklist or template to document your informed consent process. This helps ensure you've covered all required elements of informed consent, giving the patient as much time and information they need to decide if they want to participate. Using a checklist can also help keep your conversation coherent and organized. So if for any reason you're not using a checklist, feel free to reach out to me and I'll send you a generic template. Consider the informed consent process a first impression for your potential research subjects. If you're able to include your PI, use a checklist, and go beyond the consent form, you'll be a lot more likely to enroll potential patients and retain them further down the line. Let me know what you think. Thanks so much for listening to Note to File Podcast. Please make sure to rate, review, and subscribe, and check us out at notetofilepodcast.com.